tons of people around. But I was thinking if we're quiet, we can probably get away with it. Just don't tell anyone. I don't want anyone to know. It's nice to have a little mystery when everyone thinks they know everything about you, don't you think? So if you know what you want to ask, I think I can read the cards for you. I think we should try it. Okay, here's what you have to do. Get real quiet. Picture something in your mind, something you really want to know about, something you've just been thinking to yourself. Boy, wouldn't it be so great to know what happens next? Hold that in your mind. Well, I just want to make sure that nobody can hear us and nobody can see us. This is so private after all. The 7 of Wands and the 8 of Cups. You win because you know when to say no. You've just recently learned how to start saying no. It's as if what people see of you when they walk away has become so much more important than what they think of you from the front. King of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, someone new, someone to plant seeds with, someone to have fun with, someone who makes a great friend, but can also be a great lover. Opportunities. Offers. Offers to invest money too. If you've made some recently, it's a good time to put it into something. I hear that there's a lot of money in something called crypto, but you didn't hear it from me. Well, they say it has something to do with the war, but I'm not sure. That's just what I've heard. Oh, this old thing, well. Oh, nothing. I thought I heard somebody talking about us. Oh, I don't even remember where I got this. It's so old. But it does shine. So like I was saying, an opportunity comes in. Something juicy. Something that makes you remember what you should never forget. That you are the center of everything. There are so many people who would rather stare at your back than smile in your face. And do you know why they would rather stare at your back than smile in your face? Because they're stuck. And you are the very opposite. Well, and I feel like they just can't take it, you know? It's really hard to see somebody be brave and bold and exciting and beautiful and, well, always on the move. It's hard to see someone be like that when you feel so stuck. Don't you think? Now, if it's a part of you that's stuck, well, that's about to end too. But you have to be careful, because just because the time of being stuck is over doesn't mean that you run into the first thing that makes you feel good. The only thing that makes you feel good is you. Everything else, it's just a reflection of that feeling. As long as you remember that, you're gravy. baby.
Hi, Leo. Welcome to the second part of your reading. Oh man, you are so Leo, Daisy Leo this month. Yeah, Daisy is very much a Leo. It feels like. In the good ways and the probably not so good ways. But let's start here. So, Venus has moved into Capricorn. And you have a tendency throughout the month to feel like the material is weighing on you. Material responsibilities, decisions to make, work, being happy with work, being happy with what you earn, being on top of all your household chores, being on top of all your bills. You become a bit overwhelmed even. But the cards here say, Seven of Wands, hey, it's okay. You will find a way to get it all done. More importantly, you're left with a very strange taste in your mouth of, do I want to keep doing this? Do I want all these obligations? Does it suit me that if I can't get stuff done for a few days, so much piles up? Is this constant state of pressure what I want my life to be about? There's this urge in you to recklessly break away. You want freedom. And the thing is, much like Daisy, you want freedom from your own choices. Where you are now, you have put yourself there for the most part. And that is not said without compassion. I don't mean it as an accusation. I mean, the choices you've made have brought you where you are now. So when you think about and when you feel like running away, I would just like to put it in perspective that what you're actually running away from are your own choices. Now, if you find that a particular relationship, whether it's romantic, business related, or a friend, a family member, is particularly difficult to deal with, this is a time now between now and middle of December where if they bring it up or if you happen to be around them, Seven of Wands, you really want to take care of it. So wherever there's loose ends, wherever things have piled up, whether it's material or emotional actually, you get around to setting it straight in November. That's not necessarily a good thing. It may, in your quest to lessen the stress in your life, actually add stress to your life. There are so many different arenas in which you want to pour all your attention, and it's just impossible to be in all of those places at once. Work wins out. Seven of Pentacles, you're really focused on the work that you've done so far, the fruition that you know is coming, but more so even than the pleasure of fruition, you want to see it done. You need it. You need to be able to see something you have put a lot into come to something good. It's the renewal of faith that you're searching for, especially if you're in a profession that you don't necessarily like. So, while you're pouring yourself into work and progress and perhaps even competition, your family life, especially if there's one person in particular who really relies on you, well, that's suffering. That aspect of your life is suffering. They feel neglected. They become difficult to control. Your family life can become extremely chaotic in the next 2 weeks because there's nobody at the helm. They're all waiting for you to come back and take control, and it's as if you've forgotten that you said you would come back. After the 22nd, the sun moves into Sag. And then on the 24th, 2 days later, you have Mercury, excuse me, moving into Sag. So finally, Leo gets some fire. This is wonderful for anyone who wants to meet someone new, get closer to someone, start a new relationship, look good in front of the person they're already dating. It's all very, very positive. Now, it's tricky when it comes to people in a position of authority, whether they're work-related or not. On one hand, you have the luck to take the risk and ask for what you want. And in fact, you can demand more. But at the same time, it's very important that you be flexible and not stuck in your ways. So you can ask for a lot, but you have to be willing to negotiate and understand going into it that you're not going to get everything you asked for. Okay? If you are in the midst of trying to find somewhere to work or trying to get a project approved or someone needs to sign off on something, the next 2 weeks are stellar. Just be bold, be confident, and walk right into it. It's important, though, that this confidence not be solely limited to you talking about how great you think you are. It's really important that we keep that to a minimum. Because what it comes across as when you're trying to sell someone something, whether it's a product, an idea, a friendship, a connect, whatever it is you're selling, when we oversell, what we inspire in the prospective buyer is insecurity and fear, not an abundance of confidence in you. What they're seeing is someone who is trying too hard. Okay, so we don't want to do that. There's also, on the 19th at the lunar eclipse, there is a washing out of that childhood wound that for you has so much to do with identity. How much of what you do to garner attention, affection, a response, a reaction, how much of that comes from a very, very young place? How much of that was integrated into you as a child? And what does that mean about being able to get out of it? What does that mean about being able to heal it and move forward? Now, when it comes to work, like I said, be very flexible, but dream big and ask big. It's very possible for you to end up with a much, much better position and way more money than you thought you were going to get. Luck is on your side and you're making all the right moves. Now, for those of you who are in a great relationship and everything is copacetic, you're going to still feel this chaos. Just make sure you don't take it out on each other. Now, the most obvious thing to me here, now I did this at the end of the Sag reading and I asked if I should start doing this again and they said yes, so I'm going to test it with you guys as well. So when I first started the channel, yes, we would look at the astrology and yes, we look at the mythic overtones of the cards, but I would also just look at them and just tell you what I think off the top of my head, like reading a story, which is how I started reading cards. So I did it for the Sag reading, they loved it, and they asked me to do it for all the signs. So here is the second video where now that we're done looking at the astrology and we're done looking at the shuffle, now let's look at the story that it's presenting. So in some area of your life, overcoming really does mean leaving behind. And it's because you've realized this 7, 8, 7 here, 7 of Wands, 8 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles. You've realized that there's no way to win without planting new seeds. There's no way to plant new seeds without leaving behind and completely ripping away what was there before. So the path to winning is losing. And that losing becomes fertile ground for a new you, a new plan, a new direction, a new life. Now, this new plan, it's blessed, it's lucky. It attracts a lot of friends and supporters. Without realizing it, you're making quite a name for yourself as being reliable and, in most cases, stunning in one way or another, either because of your beauty or your skill and talent or both. So people are noticing, people are beginning to congregate and offer their cups. But for you, this is a very personal thing. The adoration of the public or being fawned over by people, this is nothing new for you. But that Fool card and that Hanged Man, to break out of your fixed nature and take a huge risk, to walk away from something perhaps, well, that's the question, isn't it? Something that can save your life. Those two cards there, the Fool and the Hanged Man, that's Daisy's dilemma, isn't it? Take a risk and be with the man you love, even though you're not quite sure what he does for a living and if you'll actually be financially secure. Or stay with the man who treats you like dirt, cheats on you, will never leave you, and has all the money in the world. That's the question, Leo. Now you tell me what's the answer. Because it's a question that's presented to you over and over again. Would you like to remain in the rut where you are deeply unhappy and yet you have all the things you seem to need? Or do you break away? Do you break free? Do you trust yourself? Because if you trust the universe, you trust yourself. And if you trust yourself, you trust the universe, because they are one and the same. So this becomes an existential question now, doesn't it? Think about it. And we'll talk more about it in the extended, which is on Patreon, on Vimeo, and available through an instant PayPal link. There's also a Cameo link below. We've moved the event from November to December, just because I'll be back in New York in December, and so because of the time difference, I'm not up at 4 a.m. That event can also be found through the Cameo link, as well as for personal readings. There's also a link to merchandise, to our beautiful Revolution rings that we're just ramping up a new campaign for the holidays for. And if you're interested in a daily horoscope, come on over to Instagram and join at the Quietest Revolution and take a look at your Quietest Daily. All right. Oh, I loved your costume. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. The best. I love you, love you. I'll see you in the extended right now.